Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Epic Speed Driver from Callaway.
Rich Lerner alongside a man who won 4 times on the PGA Tour, Nota Begay III. Patrick Cantlay is unflappable. He's resilient. He is clutch. And Nota, he is now the FedExCup champion for the first time. Here now the final results, and he held off Jon Rahm.
Well, you just have to look at the body of work, Rich, over the last 2 weeks. Set the all-time putting record in the strokes gained category last week. Then comes in here, and with 9 holes left, Rahm had cut into his lead, cut it down to a shot, but he held him off.
Patrick Cantlay with Todd Lewis after the win.
There were a lot of great moments from the week for Patrick, a lot of great moments from today. I want to point out 2 of them. The bogey putt you made on 17 to maintain your lead, and then the second shot you hit here to 18 to ultimately win the FedExCup. What did you bring to yourself mentally and emotionally there to capture those moments?
Yeah, you know, I was pretty mistake-free earlier in the week, and the last 2 days I made more mistakes. But I did a really good job of, you know, I kept telling myself focus and lock in, and that was kind of the mindset that I was going to have no matter what happened. And I really did a good job of that. And so being able to, you know, after the miss on 13, be able to make all the short putts down the stretch and then be able to hit and play 18 so well, I mean, it's really validating and it feels great, and it's just all that hard work paying off.
Patrick, you slept on the lead here at the Tour Championship for 7 nights. It's easy to think that fear of failing is going to creep into your brain. How did you avoid that?
I just tried to stay very present, and it takes a lot of self-talk, not getting ahead of yourself. But I did a great job of that. And you know, given last week, it felt like I was in the lead for darn near 2 weeks. You know, that's what it felt like. So much so that even on Friday, I was telling my caddy Revy, I was saying, "Man, it feels like it's just been the same day over and over and over again." I felt like Bill Murray and Groundhog Day, but. You know, I did, like I said, staying present was the key, especially given this format and starting ahead. And I just did such a good job of locking in, focusing, and just doing, not letting anything else bother me, and just doing that, just focus.
Final thing, not only, this is a 2-part question, not only this week, but last week as well. What do you think you've proven to yourself, and what do you hope that you have proven to those who follow the great game of golf?
Well, it seems like I have a new nickname.
Yes, yes.
And I'm okay with that. I think it's great. And I feel like the fans, it felt like, at least to me, that they were on my side and they were pulling for me, and that felt really good. And I can't thank them enough for that. But I think anytime you play, you know, on the biggest stages in golf and you come through, like I did the last couple weeks, it just is such a great feeling, and you can draw so much on that going forward, because I'm sure I will find myself in similar scenarios down the road. And being able to draw on those successes, because golf, you don't have so many. But coming out on the right side when you are in contention, it feels so good. And I'm going to take those experiences and take those lessons with me in the future, and hopefully I can apply them down the road.
It was fun to watch. Congratulations. Patrick Cantlay, the FedExCup champion.
Nota, Patrick Cantlay was never a needle mover, just a solid player who went about his business. Now, in addition to that $15 million FedExCup prize, and the new nickname, Patty Ice. He has a new profile, doesn't he, in the sport?
No, he really does. He's elevated his profile quite a bit. When you go head-to-head with 2 of the juggernauts in our game, in Bryson DeChambeau last week, who he beat in the playoff, and this week in Jon Rahm, you really sort of put yourself up there with some pretty heady company. But, you know, you take away what he talks about in terms of the mental requirements that it takes to win an event like this. You just look at, say, gosh, people always kind of balk at golf as a sport, but if you want to tune into the American Century Championship every summer and watch Tony Romo, Steph Curry, Marty Fish struggle with the game, it just tells you that these remarkable athletes that are extremely physically gifted struggle with this game, because it is so mentally demanding and emotionally taxing. And for someone to go out there and do it, what he did for 2 weeks, is remarkable. Jon Rahm's not the FedExCup champion, but he is still the best player in the world. He's ranked #1, and I think it's really without much question at this point. Jon Rahm spoke with Todd after the round. It ultimately came down to you, Jon, and Patrick. As you look back on this day and this round, what do you think the difference was?
Putting. I feel like he made a few more putts than I did. None of us made much. We both saved a lot of pars. couldn't make the few chances I had. Simple as that, you know. There was a couple putts that I hit that I thought I made. It was just slight misreads. They all felt good. It's just, you know, didn't get the one that maybe curls in or just drops in that puts a little bit of pressure. Right? I definitely played good enough to the grade overall. There's just a couple shots, you know, I keep going back on that stretch of maybe 10, 11, 12, where I was in position to put a little bit of pressure and I just didn't. So that could be part of it. But at the same time, you know, I've shot my lowest score ever over 4 days at this golf course, which usually has been a challenge for me. And Patrick played great golf, you know, and he started in that position where he was 4 shots ahead of me. And even though I might have been the better man over the week, he, you know, he earned that. So he played amazing golf. What to say? I mean, that up and down after missing on 17 shows guts, and that second shot on 18 after I almost make it is even more impressive, right? So I think you can say he won this. He played amazing golf, but you know, I'll get my revenge. I know I'll get it.
Well, not only did you play the best you've ever played here at the Tour Championship, you were better than anybody else over 72 holes. In your heart of hearts,
did I win it?
Yes, you are. In your heart of hearts, do you feel like you won this tournament?
No, because I didn't. It's the reason we have the system we have. I said it in scoring, you know, when they show you the sheet of the place and the points and everything that each one earns, and it feels really weird to have this feeling of disappointment of not winning on a day you're making $5 million, right? It just seems to me I'm making like, it's something doesn't add up, right? And then I'm thinking, you know, yeah, I gave it my all. It wasn't enough, but it's what it is, you know. I get to go home with my beautiful wife and my beautiful family to this great home and rest up a little bit, because the year's not over, you know. We have a couple of big events coming up and some other big ones in the European Tour coming up. So even though seasonally, let's say the FedExCup 2021 season is over, but the year is not over. So go back home, rest up, and keep on going.
Congratulations on a great week and a great season.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy.
Nota, who's player of the year? Is it Patrick Cantlay or is it Jon Rahm?
Well, I think you have to assess the overall body of work, and you would have to give it to Jon Rahm simply with the 16 top 10s he had over the course of the year. Patrick Cantlay played the best at the end of the year. He is the FedExCup champion, but he did not shoot the lowest score this week. The actual world ranking points will be given to Kevin Na and Jon Rahm as the top 2 finishers in the field this week. So little bit of discussion to be had amongst the players when they cast their votes, but I always laugh when players assess sort of the pros and cons of their game, because it really wasn't Jon Rahm's putting, as he alluded to, that led him down this week. It was his iron play. He lost ground to the field in rounds 2 and round 3, and he was actually 4th in stroke game putting this week, 10 spots better than Cantlay, who was 14th. So we're not athletes. We're not always great at assessing what went wrong, especially when we're still sort of so close to the moment. But I think when he looks back, he'll realize it was his iron play that really didn't let him down. And on top of the fact that Patrick Cantlay, throughout the course of the week, birdied every single par 5, 8 for 8. They were the 2 easiest holes on the golf course, and Jon Rahm only birdied them 5 times. So there's a little bit going on there that I think he'll be able to summarize in a couple more days.
He said he'll get his revenge on Patrick Cantlay. Maybe it'll be at the Ryder Cup later this month at Whistling Straits in Wisconsin, right?
Yes, that would be a very interesting thing to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and Steve Stricker, the United States captain, will make his 6 at-large selections this coming Wednesday. We'll have that on Golf Channel. What a year. It was a 50-event, supersized FedEx Cup season, and that man is the last one standing, Patrick Cantlay.